Hey everyone, Case here. Welcome back to Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. It is time for a new chapter. Chapter 4. In this year 7, things have been very interesting since we found out Merula is the mole. She's acting pretty normal, nothing too weird. There was a bit of a snafu, so to speak, in the previous chapter, but nothing out of the ordinary yet. It seemed like Merula, anyway, was just trying to get help with some type of study. Says here though that the investigation into Merula is put on hold when they receive an urgent message from Professor Dumbledore. That's right, he called us into his office, probably because we're going to be venturing outside of Hogwarts for career studies. Got our friends there as well, so clearly this has to be that. You asked us to see us, Professor Dumbledore? Indeed. Are all of you here? Well, there's me, Tonks, Liz, Charlie, Ben, KC. The portrait of Phineas Nigellus Black. The portrait of Amano Dippet. Fox. You could have just said yes, Barnaby. I had to double check. It can never hurt to double check. But on why I gathered you 6 here today. As you know, at the beginning of the year feast, I had mentioned a very special arrangement. Is this about going off school ground to think about future careers, Professor? I can hardly wait to hear where we might be assigned. Indeed it is, Mr. Casey, but you'll have to listen carefully to the details. I am actually very curious as to know where I'm going to be going. Despite this being possible because of some close friends, remember that you are representing Hogwarts. Everything you do at the Ministry of Magic will reflect on our school. Any questions? Yes, you said you chose us based on our talents and interests. Indeed, you 6 are excellent candidates for the Ministry. Miss Tongs for her dependability. Mr. Lee for his loyalty. Miss Tuttle for her knowledge. Mr. Weasley for his bravery. Mr. Copper for his steadfastness. And finally, Mr. KC, some have called you stubborn, some lucky, some ambitious. Which of those qualities do you think you possess? Stubborn, lucky, ambitious. Well, I can be pretty stubborn. I go against a lot of the things that Dumbledore will say. He says, don't do this, I'll do it anyway. But I'm also very ambitious as well. So I think... You know what, let's just go stubborn, because I am. I'm stubborn, and I want to get to the bottom of every mystery, Professor Dumbledore. A very Gryffindor trait, some might say. You are dogged in your pursuits, and I think some may mistake your tenacity as stubbornness. You've been chosen to go for these qualities, but also for your heroic efforts in sealing the cursed vaults. Which is why, first and foremost, you will be starting in the Department of the Magical Law Enforcement. Yes, Auror training, here I come. You really think they're putting us on Auror training, Tonks? Well... That, students, will be entirely up to the Ministry. Now I trust you all balance your time at the Ministry with your studies. Do not let me down. Of course, Professor Dumbledore. Excellent. You'll pick up the necessary credentials to explore the Ministry upon your arrival. Now if you excuse me, there is some business I must attend to. Well, that's interesting. I hope my dad doesn't embarrass me while I'm at the Ministry. Oh, who cares, Charlie? We'll be at the Ministry of Magic. Calm down, Tonks. You'll knock something over if you're not careful. Are you not excited, Casey? Of course I am. I just don't know much about the Ministry of Magic is all. I'm not really sure what to expect, to be honest. I do know I'd like to make a good first impression. If you're worried about that, I could tell you a bit about the Ministry, Casey. That would be brilliant, Charlie. We should meet in the courtyard to talk. But not yet, right? But not yet. Looks like I have a lot to do with the courtyard, don't I? But of course, I'm going to be talking to Charlie first. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for offering to tell me about the Ministry of Magic so I can make a good first impression. Not a problem, Casey. It's not as fun as talking about dragons, but the Ministry is interesting and a good place to consider a future. You think so? I'm hoping that knowing more about the department will help me prepare for my first day. Oh, sure. There are lots of different departments, and some of them are quite strange. Strange? What do you mean by strange? Well, maybe not quite cursed vault strange, but... You know what? It would probably be easier if I told you about the different departments. That's probably a good idea. The Ministry of Magic should just deal with a lot of different aspects of the wizarding world. Magical creature regulation, law enforcement, and magic reversal. Sounds like you could be just about anything working at the Ministry. That's what my dad always says. And he works in the Misuse of Muggle Artifacts Office? It's a division of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, separate from the Aurors. They regulate the use of magical Muggle items and ensure that Muggles don't own enchanted items. Do you think you'd ever want to work with your dad? Oh, I don't think I'm suited to work with my dad. I'd rather work in the Department for Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Of course, I should have known. You're more likely to see dragons that way. That's right, and if that doesn't work out, I can always go to Romania and work at the Dragon Sanctuary. Even after that run-in with the Hungarian Horntail? Is that even a real question? Of course. Enough about me, though. How do you feel now that you know more about the Ministry of Magic? I feel prepared. I'm still quite nervous. Wow, already up to 40 now, huh? I'm still a little bit nervous, but I really appreciate all you've done, Charlie. If it makes you feel any better, I would surely do great at the Ministry, Casey. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, Charlie. You're my friend. It's the absolute least I could do. Besides, now you have one less thing to worry about. Now you just need to figure out where you're going to get some flu powder. I suppose taking the flu network would be faster than the train. And since I was specifically chosen for this honor, maybe Snape will give me some flu powder. The only way to find out is ask. Better hurry up, Casey. There's not much time left until assignments at the Ministry begin. You're right. I'll go see Snape right away to get some flu powder. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think you have to take like the fireplace or something. Or put the flu powder in the fireplace or something? That's what I remember. Who's this? Oh, that's the Muggles guy. All I'm saying is that, if you think about it, Muggle chemistry really is quite similar. Oh, hello, Miss Tonks and Mr. Casey, yes? Yes, that's correct, Mr. Sikander. Tonks and I just wanted to ask Professor Snape about some flu powder, but I see you're busy. I'm not. We were just having a friendly discussion about Muggle chemistry. Oh, alright. We could come back after your discussion? There's no discussion. Professor Sikander, simply speaking. Well... What do you need the flu powder for, Casey? To go to the Ministry of Magic, Professor. We're going to learn what it takes to be Aurors. At least, I hope that's what we're going to be learning about. Is that so? Oh, Aurors! How lovely! You know, Muggles have got... And why would you be invited to the Ministry of Magic? I was invited because I'm stubborn, and dogged in my pursuit, as Professor Dumbledore said. That is certainly something we can agree on. Professor Dumbledore did specifically pick us to be assigned to the Ministry for... stuff. Speak clearly, or not at all, Miss Tonks. Oh, I think that's a bit harsh, don't you? Professor Sikander, I wouldn't... Did I ask for your opinion? Well, no. Then do not give it. Casey, you will prove you understand how to use flu powder correctly before I give it to you. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know about flu powder right away. Yeah, that's one thing, you don't really talk back to Snape. He'll get ya, you know, he'll get ya. To reinforce the most important things I know, the Flu Network uses a powder. Speak loudly and clearly. and you can go to secure locations, like the Ministry of Magic. I think that's everything, Professor Snape. Oh. Well? Tell me, Casey, why exactly one must speak loudly and clearly when using the Flu Network? To arrive at the proper location, you can lose a limb, so the Nargles can hear you. I assume the top would. You must speak loudly and clearly so that you arrive at the proper location. That is correct. It seems your last brain cells are intact. But you seem to know enough. I will give you and Miss Tonks this flu powder on one condition, that you do not engage in any tomfoolery. I don't know if I can promise that. Tonks! We can do that, Professor Snape. Very well. This will be enough to get you to and from the Ministry. Brilliant! Suppose I have to start scouting out a fireplace we can use, Casey. Hopefully somewhere nearby. All three of you need to leave. Immediately. Oh, do you have another class coming in? No, I simply cannot stand any of you. Oh, I see. Corey, what are you doing here? I've got news about, our investigation. All of you, out. Looks like you have to tell me on the way then, Corey. Sure, let's go to the Great Hall to talk about this new evidence. I like how Professor Snape ignored what Tonks said. Probably because he knows that she'll probably still get in trouble. Casey, you were pleased to know that I found us a star witness. Beatrice? Yeah, hi. Can we make this quick? I've got things to do. Oh, sure, of course. Corey? Well, don't hold back, Beatrice. Tell Casey what you told me. You are far too excited. Don't mind her, Beatrice. Just tell me whatever it is you know. If I must. It's got to do with Merula. What about her? Oh, just wait until you hear. Will you two stop interrupting me? Sorry, Beatrice. As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, it's about Merula. Built up and listen to me. You want to know everything you have to say. I'm really curious to know what it is now. So Merula's been going to the Whomping Willow and always comes back in a bad mood. That's what I just said, yes. Sorry, Beatrice, I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go now. Bye, Beatrice. Thanks for helping. So, what do you think of Merula going to the Whomping Willow? It's suspicious, it's not suspicious. We need more information. My memory's not the greatest, but I remember when we had to go to the Whomping Willow. I'm not sure if it had to do with R or not. It was something to do with getting something, I think, or maybe it was a note or some kind of object or something. It's been too long, but clearly there was something there. I think it's suspicious. Who would just go to the Whomping Willow by themselves? That's what I was thinking. It's totally suspicious. That reminds me. The Whomping Willow is a known communications depot for R. That's what it was. In that case, we should definitely, at the very least, take a look. I agree. We should definitely investigate. That's what Detective Conebush and Aurora Persimmons would do, right? It is. But you've got to leave for the Ministry of Magic soon. Blimey, you're right. I'll keep an eye on Merula while you're gone. We've got to know for sure if she's a mole before we expose her. Even the best detective teams have to divide and conquer sometimes. Thank you so much, Corey. Watch your Casey, Corey. Hope you don't mind if I steal Casey for a bit, Corey. We've got a ministry to get to. Not a problem, Tonks. You two will have a smashing time at the ministry. I sure hope so. Come on then. I got the perfect fireplace to use to flew to the ministry. Fantastic, Tonks. Only thing is, it is in Hogsmeade, and we'll have to convince the owner. No time to waste then. Next stop, Hogsmeade and the Ministry of Magic. Well, I've finally finished all the lessons to move on to the final part of Chapter 4 here. The surfing loop at the top there, that was the standard 9 stars, and I think there was an 8-hour quest after that. The rotary phone was just an 8-hour quest, and that was it. So no crazy amount of stars that you needed, but you did have to get the lessons done to move on. So now if I can remember what the heck is going on, we're going to be using the fireplace to go to the Ministry of Magic. But first we have to ask permission. Hey Madame Merula, Tonks and I was wondering if we could use your fireplace to flew to the Ministry of Magic. I'm hoping to learn about being an Auror. Calm down, Tonks. Studying in the magical law enforcement doesn't necessarily mean going to the Auror office. Oh, how delightful. I'm so proud of you two. Thank you, Madame Merula. So, can we use your fireplace? Make sure to watch your step. Keep your arms by your side. Speak loudly and clearly. And most importantly, don't track any ashes. I don't want to be cleaning up after another mess. Of course, Madame Merula. We'll be careful. I promise. Tonks, that goes doubly for you. Promise I'll try not to make an ashy mess, or any other kind of mess. Well, alright. Good luck at the ministry. I'm sure you'll both be brilliant. They sure use the word brilliant a lot, don't they? Well, only thing left to do is to throw the flu powder and go, yeah? Alright, here we go.
Oh!
I can't believe we're about to explore the Ministry of Magic. It feels like the first real step in actually getting to choose a wizarding career. All we've got to do is throw in the flu powder and go. Yes, I know that. Who's behind me? Who is that? Oh, what's the rush? I mean, we could just sit and have a butterbeer first. Tonks, are you okay? A second ago you couldn't wait to go to the Ministry of Magic. Casey, what if I turn out to be a rotten Auror? You'll be excellent, you might be. Like anything in life, you don't know unless you try. You'll be an excellent Auror, Tonks. There's no doubt about it. I feel all jittery. And not like when I eat a bunch of candy, but like when Snape yells at me. I understand. Going outside of Hogwarts is a really big deal, and we both want to make a good impression. And I know you'll make a fantastic first impression. Thanks, but... do you need a pep talk? You know what? That actually might help. Well then, listen carefully. You know what? You're right, Casey. I am an amazing witch, and I'm determined to be an Auror. Nothing will stop me when I have this much willpower. There's the Tonks I know. Thank you, Casey, for everything. Of course, you're my friend. Your friend who's going to be absolutely brilliant at the Ministry of Magic. Then let's stop talking and get going. I don't want to be late on my first day. Alright, here we go. Ministry of Magic. Oh, that's kind of neat. I hope she made it there okay. Well, I best be off myself. Oh! You son of a gun in your googly eye. Not so fast, Casey. Mad Eye, what are you doing here? And how did you know I was going to be here? No time for your questions. You're headed to the Ministry of Magic, correct? I am. Don't worry about Merula. I made a new friend and she's going to keep an eye on her. That's good to hear, Casey. Unfortunately, I'm not here to celebrate. I've got a warning for you. Has something happened? Is Jacob okay? Jacob is fine. It is you who needs to worry. It is no coincidence that your first assignment is at the Ministry. I believe R has agents inside the Ministry. Just tell me what you need to do and I'll do it, Mad Eye. Need to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. This time, you will not be on your own though. I've got contacts at the Ministry helping me. Who are they? I'll make sure to get in contact with them. Can't say. Too many ears here. Just be careful who you trust when you get to the Ministry. Of course, Mad Eye. Constant vigilance. Indeed. Now, off you go to the Ministry for your first assignment. Oh my goodness. Ministry of Magic. Oh, I have to get a good screenshot of this. What did I get? I think that's pretty good.
You make the hardest task look easy.
That took a twist. There could be agents of R in the Ministry, and then of course we've got people on the inside to spy on them, I guess. Things are going down, man. And it's going to be interesting to go back to the Ministry of Magic, because I think we've been there a few times, but just in like the one area. So I'm hoping there's going to be some new areas to explore. Remember, we do have Koi looking after Merula and seeing what she's up to, if it's anything suspicious with her. And we're probably going to be going to the Whomping Willow. We're going to be flip-flopping. Merula, career, back and forth. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you very shortly with more in the Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright everybody.